Educating, informing, serving. Fact TV, keeping government honest.
So the meeting of the village trustees of the town of of the village of Saxtons River will now come to order. It's July 11th, 7 p.m. and we are meeting by remote location only, online. Anyone who has technical difficulties getting in can call or text 802-376-4639. Or 802-591-3418. So the meeting having been called to order, let's proceed to public comment. Do either of you have anything for public comment?
No.
Ellen, nothing? Okay, so I will bring up a matter that a constituent made to me. I suggested that she might want to appear, but my sense was that she wanted us to discuss the complaint. So Dempsey Brennan complained that she heard and smelled a dirt bike on June 21st, and she wished to file a noise and nuisance complaint with us. So I responded, I'm embarrassed to tell you, but her original email of June 21st got caught in my spam folder. So I didn't find it until after the agenda for this meeting was published. However, once I found it, I did respond to her. So I forwarded to her the discussion of the trustees last year about noise ordinances, and suggested that she was particularly offended by the fumes from the dirt bike, and made the comment that when she went back inside, she had left her windows open and discovered that the smell was even more intense. So I suggested that she might want to follow that up with Charles Wise, our health, zoning, and planning officer. I don't know anything about smells as a public nuisance, but I felt fairly secure that if there was something, he as the health officer would have information on it.
I don't recall smells being part of the nuisance ordinance that we looked at, the town ordinance.
Are you suggesting to me that we have a nuisance ordinance about smells?
Well, no, I said I don't think that the smells were part of any nuisance ordinance that I've seen. I don't think they do.
Well, it seemed like a legitimate question, so I gave her the contact for information for Charles Wise, and we'll see if we hear from her. If you remember, the outcome of that discussion, eventually, the discussion about a noise ordinance, was that a petition of names from the village would encourage us to take the issue further, and we haven't heard anything. Okay, no other public comments? Okay, on to the, go ahead, Charles.
I just mentioned that since we had Cass Wright here last week, I don't know if you saw that there was a complaint about a loose dog annoying a leashed dog and dragging, or the handler of the leashed dog getting injured.
So this was a complaint that someone made to you, Carl?
No, this is on the Saxtons River page.
The Saxtons River page?
On Facebook.
Facebook page.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of discussion about whether or not there was any ordinance that regulated dogs. Just as a matter of interest, I responded to it and said that the person would be welcome to come and make a public comment tonight at the meeting, but I don't know if they've seen that or not.
Okay. We also have Cass Wright's information on the webpage, on the Rockingham webpage, so that if people wanted to contact him directly. I was very impressed by the information he presented.
Agreed.
Yeah. So, okay. Complaint about unleashed dog. So that wasn't made to us, but thanks for
No.
following up, Carl.
It was partly a complaint and partly a query about what are the leash laws. And there were a lot of responses, some of them accurate and some of them not, as you might expect on Facebook.
Sounds about right. Okay, the treasurer update. Sarah Campbell is away. She sent an email this morning telling us that it is her birthday today, and she will not be able to attend. So the gist of her comments was that the discussion we began around debit cards and credit cards is perhaps more than a year away. She talked with Pam, the accounts receivable manager for the town of Rockingham, and they are not happy with how credit card payment has worked out. And
What
they're
do you
looking, there have been problems. That's what she said. That's all I got, Ellen.
Oh, okay.
And that the debit program is very time intensive. So Sarah feels this is not appropriate for us at this time. She reminds us that unlike the town of Eden, which we offered up as perhaps another very small town, the town of Eden has 3 paid employees, and Saxons River has a treasurer who gets a small stipend. So I think that's, where we are for the moment. It seems to me we had this query from 2 residents. So unofficially, we might want to get back to them and tell them the outcome of their interest. Sarah also said that her focus this year is going to be on issuing tax payments and sewer bills and ensuring payment of the sewer bills and so 149 sewer bills and the 182 property tax bills. I know she's also working to get her software and hardware so that she can give us timely and useful information at any point that we need it.
Yeah, I think that's more important to us than worrying about credit card payments.
Mm-hmm. Okay, any other comments about the treasurer update? Okay, on to reviewing payment for 2 park benches, trees, Abbiati contract. Should we start with the contract for
No,
Abbiati engraving?
they should have finished engraving the benches this afternoon.
Huh,
When I drove down to Bellows Falls today around noontime, and they were just getting started. I came back around 2 o'clock, and they had the date bench done, and they were working on the Saxtons River Park bench, and it seemed to me that they were going to finish today because
great.
they had their stencil template attached to the bench, and they're not going to want to leave that out. Or
Fantastic. So we can look forward to the bill coming soon.
Well, they sent us an invoice in October and said, don't pay it now, pay it when the work is done. So I assume that that's our invoice. I sent it to Ellen to put in with the warrant. I don't know.
Okay,
if you
Yep,
saw it or
I
not.
got it. It's on the warrant.
great.
So now, of course, if we just pay that invoice, they may come back with a different one. But I can check if you want. But
No, I think you've done what they instructed, and let's, one step at a time.
yeah,
Okay, that's great news. So the benches, because of the publicity around this perhaps, or because the park committee is so good, they have come up with a gift of a beautiful bench. They're going to work on it. It needs a little polishing. My understanding is that it is a handmade wooden bench made by the father of one of our Saxons River residents. They're very happy with this gift. So that will turn up in the park one of these days once they've had a chance to work on it. And at some point there may be another bench requested, but not at the moment. The trees, there are apparently 4 of them to be taken down in the land between the park fence and the river. Do you 2 know what I'm referring to? Is that specific enough?
yeah, I saw Margaret pointed them out to me.
Margaret Vandenberg?
Yeah, and her thought was that could just be felled and left in the woods there
Mhm.
without being hauled out, if we can get somebody to do it.
Mhm. Did she mention to you the need for a 5 feet, I'm sorry, a 6-foot swath of cleared property along the fence?
Yes, she did. And we looked at that too. That's, well, that'd be kind of tricky to do, I think, because it's steep there on the downside of the fence. So it's not something I would want to volunteer to do with my weed cutter.
Mhm. I thought I'd contact the town manager and discuss it with him. See whether he thought the highway department would be willing to take that on or whether that's beyond their purview. But start with that as a first conversation. Are you
Yeah.
two okay with that?
Well, just for clarification, so it was $1,200 to take down 2 trees, and why?
No, 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 no.
Oh,
No, the trees are different. There are 2 or 4 dead trees
okay.
in that area. The $1,200 was an original quote for the benches. We've
Oh,
dropped that
okay.
now.
All right, because that, okay, yeah. I'm good.
Because this is an area that isn't used, it's not mowed, it's not supposed to be stamped on, or people aren't supposed to cut across it. The feeling of the park committee is that the trees could just be felled and left there. So no need for, a giant crane that comes and picks it out and shreds it and, all the elaborate things that we see with tree services.
Okay.
So I can ask around and see if we have a woodsman that would be willing to take that on. It occurred to me that Alex Barrett might be a good place to start.
And Richard Nichols has taken down trees for me too, so he would be another person.
Okay.
Um,
Have
now,
you got a couple names for me, Ellen? Come on now.
Alex probably has more equipment if
Yeah, we don't really do too much in the tree. It depends upon the size of the tree, but we
No.
just don't have the bandwidth.
Well, and I know your business is extremely busy doing what you do best, so that's fine. I just thought, here we are throwing out names. I don't want you to feel left out. So, okay. Anything else on the park situation?
So just as a clarification, what were you thinking that the town might be able to take on?
So I have sent you lengthy notes, Carl. I just sent them to you, way too late for you to see them, but they're in your email. So all
I see them, but I'm just not clear if you're thinking of them just for the 6-foot swath or also.
I'm thinking that the 6-foot swath might be a highway crew project.
Okay.
And I'll bring this up with the town manager, and if he shoots me down, then I'll pursue on my own with your permission.
And what was the 6-foot swath again? I'm sorry.
So on the other side of the fence that runs along the base of the park, they're right up against the fence. So it's trying to get in and destroy the lawn. There are those rugosa roses, there are brambles, there's Japanese knotweed.
Okay.
So the park committee would like that area cleared so that it is less likely to invade the park. Boy, that sounds dramatic, doesn't it?
And it's about 6 feet. Okay.
That's what they thought. Carl, do you have anything to add to that?
No, it looks like an awful job. I mean, it's going in there pretty well. If the town was able to get in there with their mower on a boom and get over the fence and cut it, that would be wonderful. I'm not sure that they've got equipment that will reach that far, but
Okay.
I think talking to the town's a good idea.
Okay, I'll begin there.
Do we have money if we needed to hire crew to get in there and do it manually?
Yes. There is a park fund, and we have been drawing from it for necessary expenses. I think the last time we asked, it was $6,000 that was in the park fund. And the committee is very willing to you know, if at some point those funds need to be replenished, they would consider doing some kind of fundraiser. So.
And a second question, is there any constraint on cutting brush within that unremediated area that you know of?
No, nothing I know of.
Okay.
Okay, are we on to number 5, an update for the Saxons River Rec?
Yeah.
So I've been in touch with Sam Fletcher, and she would like us to approve tonight payment for a dumpster in the amount of $650 for her to collect pieces of metal from the old bleachers that are out there. So that's one item. She also asked me to investigate help for water testing and the Canadian geese problem. And I reached out to Peter Bergstrom, who is both an ornithologist and a biologist who does a lot of water testing in this area. And he is away this week, but he responded by email to Sam that he would be happy to help her.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm glad to hear
that's great.
that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the approval for $650 from the rec account for a dumpster to hold old metal from the bleachers. Would somebody like to make a motion to that effect?
I move that we authorize the expense of $650 for a dumpster to be taken from the rec fund.
Great, thank you. So we have, is there a second?
I second it.
So we have a motion and a second to approve the expenditure of $650 from the rec account to pay for a dumpster at the rec. Is there any further discussion?
Nope.
All right, let's vote. All in favor, hold up your hand. And it passes unanimously. Great. There's one other thing I would mention on the update. Peter Golick reached out to me with information on a Wyndham Regional Commission seminar coming up on Wednesday afternoon around town-owned dams. It was his impression that the situation at the rec involves a dam. So he suggested that someone from the village trustees attend that webinar. I'm free and I'm happy to do it, but if one of you would prefer to be the person to go or to go in addition to me, that would be fine also. Apparently there's some new legislation around town dams. And I'm not exactly sure what we have there. And when I wrote to Sam about it, she wasn't completely positive either, but it's information I thought it would be useful to attend.
Yeah,
Comment?
if you can, that would be great. And Amy, I would appreciate that.
Carl, I know you're our water guy. You okay with that?
When is it?
It is Wednesday night on the 13th, and I'd be happy to send you the information. It
Yeah,
doesn't look like you have to register ahead. I'd have to go back and check, but it's on the Wyndham Regional Commission webpage.
okay.
It starts at 6.
Oh, yes.
I'm happy to be the person who, goes and reports back.
Yeah, send me the information. I'll go if I can. 6 is a bad time.
Okay.
For me, but I'll see what else I've got to get done on Wednesday and let you know.
Okay. Well, you don't have to let me know. Just show up if you can do it. Matt Brennan asked to have speeding in the village and the mobile radar signs added to the agenda. That's all I have from him, unless he spoke to one of you. I'm not sure that's enough information to proceed with this agenda item.
I didn't speak to him, but if I could add to it,
Sure.
I was wondering if we could do something here on Pleasant Valley Road before the rec or by the rec. If it's for the village, it would have to be before the rec.
Well,
Quarry
the
Hill.
wreck is village property. I mean, it's weird, but I know it's outside the village.
Yeah,
but-
that's true. That's true. Because I just sit on my porch, and if I had a radar gun, I think I would be clocking people going 45, 50 miles an hour at times, right past my house. And we've got the great sidewalk thanks to the town, fixing it. But that only goes to across the street from my house. It doesn't go all the way up. We have to wait until they start paving Pleasant Valley Road. So if there's some way that we could, I think, didn't Matt want those somewhere out near you, Carl, the radar?
It's come up before. I
Yeah.
don't think we've dealt with it recently.
Yeah.
So I noticed that there is a sign as you go into Cambridgeport. If you're going along 121 at the top
Mhm.
of the hill, there's that nice little farm over on one side, and
Mhm.
the property that used to be the Saxtons River Distillery. And there's a sign, a mobile radar sign bolted to the signpost there that I think is relatively new. So presumably they're still being moved around.
Yeah. I think, well, I'm not sure what Matt wanted or where he wanted. I don't want to speak for him.
So Ellen, you'd like me to reach out to the town manager and ask if we could have a mobile sign on your road? And which way would it face?
It's usually people coming up Pleasant Valley Road from 121.
So making the turn and going north.
Is that north?
That's north, yeah.
Going towards.
Oh, yeah.
This is north,
My
yeah.
apologies. That would be one suggestion. And yeah, I just worry because a lot of people walk along here, and there's also a problem coming down off of Quarry Hill Road. I mean,
Boy, and that's a dirt road.
it is a dirt road, and some people fly down Quarry Hill Road towards 121. I mean, towards Pleasant Valley Road. And it catches my attention if I'm outside because you can see the huge clouds of smoke following them down. I mean, not smoke, but dirt.
Dust. Yeah,
And
dust from the dirt road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of people walk on these roads.
Okay. Well, should we start with Pleasant Valley Road heading north?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
If I could add, I think that Pleasant Valley Road's especially a concern with the construction on the bridge and the closure of 121, because that's going to be a prime detour to get to Bellows
Yeah.
Falls.
That's a good
I
point.
know residents on that road are already worried about the speeding and now the higher volume of traffic. So I think that we should, just talk about it as maybe a both ways problem, and maybe something to ask if the sheriff could.
Well, we've asked the sheriff only to clock people in the village.
Well, maybe the town should ask the sheriff then.
The town doesn't have a contract with the sheriff, I don't think.
Well, but if there's a concern about traffic and speeding and safety, I think it would be appropriate for the town to mention it to the sheriff. I mean, they must have some system for informing the sheriff of town concerns. And I would just, when you talk to the town, I would just bring up the issue of the road closure and that being a detour to Bellows Falls.
Yeah, I think that issue is changing. The work on the 121 bridge that we anticipated would take 4 to 6 weeks is apparently going to take 12 to 16 months.
Months?
Yes. So I think we're going to see a very different plan. I mean, I can't imagine they're going to close that road for a year. So I'm sure that this came out of a Westminster meeting. That bridge, is in Westminster. So I suspect that we're going to hear more about that, but I think it's too soon to predict that it will definitively be closed because it's going to be such a long period.
Mm. I hadn't-
Apparently,
I
the
hadn't
bridge
heard
was
that.
in really poor shape. So the work they had planned to do was not going to be enough.
I'm surprised that the engineers didn't discover this when they were looking at it for planning the repairs. That's interesting.
So I don't have more information for you. You could go back and look at the Westminster meetings, Westminster minutes, where it was originally discussed. This would be within the last month, but that's all I've got, except for to say, I suspect we're going to get changing information. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if Scott Pickup is on top of that. If you run into him, you could ask him about it. Okay, I think we're ready for the committee reports and updates. Am I going too fast?
Mm-mm.
It is summer and it's gorgeous out there tonight.
Yeah. That's,
Okay, so feedback on the 4th of July. Anybody got anything?
nope.
I thought it was,
What?
I've had people say it was great to see so many people, great to see a parade, great to see the 4th back. So everything that I heard was pretty positive.
Right.
And that's circulating downtown. Yeah, so I think they did a good job. I was happy to see so many people out and about for it. It was good to get doused with the fire hoses again.
Yeah, that was great. I have a great picture I can show you guys of Art Smith sitting on the bumper of the fire engine down by that place where they pull the water out, just sitting there. It's a big
Oh,
spray
yeah.
of water coming out from him. It's such, I don't know, it just makes me feel good whenever I see it.
Yeah, Amy, I know which one you're talking about, and that's a wonderful
Yeah.
photo.
Yeah.
Just a little side note. So, I mean, I heard from several people, lots of people about, oh no fireworks. And I know this isn't our topic for discussion, but a colleague of mine that used to live here in Saxons River moved out to Oregon. And he said what they've done instead of fireworks because of the cost is events are now being done with lasers, like laser light shows.
Huh.
So they grab a lot of attention and they don't create a lot of noise. And apparently they're more cost effective. Now I haven't validated this. I did start to do some research on it. But I thought, what a cool way to maybe be able to do this instead of having fireworks if they still continue to be cost prohibitive.
Yeah, and anybody with a dog would be very happy.
Dog, horse.
Yeah,
Hi, Gordon, we're talking about the 4th of July. Welcome.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, so you could reach out to Sue Hernandez, or I think she's the one who headed up the, or Pat Fowler. I know both of them are on that committee, Susan Still. That's a great idea, and they'd have plenty of time to think it over. I went to the rec around 5 o'clock, and the band this year was fabulous. And I was so sorry that there weren't a ton of people to dance to them because it was amazing. But I thought it was a great celebration, it wasn't jam-packed. There was no parking crisis, it seemed fun.
Yeah, I think that there was still a little bit of hesitation from people with COVID and uncertainty in the world that I thought the turnout would be bigger. So that was just an observation, but I still thought it was a great time.
It's a year to build us back. Yeah.
Exactly.
Did you already talk about the issue of the time?
The issue of the time.
The
I
time
don't
at
know.
the beginning, the start of the parade,
Nope.
At 10 instead of 9:30.
because it was started at 10, right?
Right.
Yes,
That
officially.
was because I was starting. People were going down there before 9, thinking that it was because in the past it's been 9, right?
I don't know.
I think it might have been, but anyway, for whatever reason, there were a lot of people going down the sidewalk, parking up on and going down before 9 o'clock. And I thought,
Yeah, because Yeah, previous years, the parade started at 9:30, so this was the first time it's been at 10 a.m.
Yeah, so,
So Gordon, this is not actually an official thing. I just thought it might be good to capture any public feedback. I can pass that on to Sue Hernandez as an issue if it was something that mattered to you, but she would be the best person to reach out to directly, anybody on that 4th of July committee. So Sue Hernandez, Susan Still, Daisy Mortensen, Pat Fowler, I know all of them were on the committee.
yeah, no, I just, I think it's probably habit, you know, a lot of people didn't read about the change, time change, that's all.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Are we ready to move on?
Mhm.
So the Saxtons River Park, we already discussed that. So we're on to the planning grant for 37 Main Street. And I just thought I'd give you a brief update on what's happened since the last meeting. There was a couple of questions by email about the reasons for the survey, which of course is as expensive as surveys are. And Gary Fox talked about the official transfer of the lot to a new owner, how important it is to have accurate survey information. We signed a contract to the surveyor, Kath Martin, on June 23rd, and a check from the town of Rockingham for the down payment to her has been issued. You remember that this municipal planning grant was given to the town of Rockingham, although the meetings and events are happening in Saxtons River. Ann Manor McClarty has offered to help with publicity this fall, which I think is great. It would be wonderful to get really good turnout for those public meetings to discuss what's going to happen at the old Dish Tenny building. I think the more interested parties we can get, the better chance we have of getting a vibrant solution that will really work for this village. That's all I got. Any questions? Okay. And we have not entered into a contract for facilitation this fall. That's, still pending. So I'm hopeful, but I have no more specifics for you. Any updates on the fire station?
Nothing. No
Anything?
more. Nothing.
Oh, nothing from the feasibility study still. Huh.
Nothing.
All right. A wastewater treatment plant. Okay. Minutes for approval from June 20th, 2022. So are those your minutes, Ellen?
Probably
The 20th of my minutes.
20th.
Are you all set for us to review them? Carl?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think the 20th of my minutes. Let me check.
My mind is not that good, and I did not look at them this afternoon. I always read them when they come to me, but.
Yeah. Yep, they're my minutes.
Okay, and no additions or corrections at this time?
No, nobody's pointed anything out to me.
Okay. All right. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of June 20th?
I move to approve the motion of June 20th.
I'll second that motion. So we have a motion to approve the minutes of June 20th. It's been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Are we ready for the vote? All in favor of passing those minutes, of approving those minutes, signify with a hand. And we're good, unanimous. Okay, warrants and bills for approval. Am I sharing the screen with you, Ellen?
I updated it. So yes, I would like that, please.
Hold on. You are now the co-host.
Woohoo! All right, let's do this. Can everybody see?
It looks fabulous.
Let me try and make it a little bigger too.
Oh my God, all that, and she's technically savvy. Amazing.
Well, thank you. So I will need clarification since this is really my first time doing it.
What do you think, Carl? I think it looks fabulous.
You're a good
A
cheerleader,
very-
Amy.
A very superior warrant.
You
So
are
what would
all
you
too-
like clarification on?
Okay, so the first thing here, we had this Sanel bill with a $9.95 credit.
You don't have to do anything about that.
Right. And then I'll get to more. And this one went to Richard Smith.
Yeah,
Saxon
that's an
Village.
artifact.
Okay. So we don't know who Richard Smith is or what would it be applying to?
I should be able to go back and tell you that because it's come up before.
So it looks like we overpaid on a payment of $52.92.
Yeah, you know what I would do? I would flag this for attention
Okay.
by Sarah.
Okay. It is flagged.
And that's one of the things that Art Smith was concerned about, right? The Sanel invoice.
No, there's other ones. The next
Okay.
one I'll get to. So there was this credit, and then we had this second one here for $36.07.
Yep.
It is 30 days past due. But let's see here. This one went to Art Smith, Saxons River Fire Department.
Yep.
Different
I think
account. Okay.
Yeah, I think the other account is the wastewater treatment plant.
Okay.
You're helping me with prompting me, but you know, we may have to keep inventing these, keep
Okay.
revisiting these issues until we get there.
Okay, then this next one from Art is for $36.07. It includes a $1 service fee for being 30 days past due.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And all it just says on here is type PRV, but it was for an amount of $35.07. So
Given the amount, I think we're making a good decision.
okay. All right. And then Art had the next two items were renewals for magazines for training purposes.
Mhm.
Firehouse Magazine and Fire Engineering.
Yep.
He's approved both of them.
Yep.
And the amounts are there. I think
Yep.
that that's reasonable. Next is Windham County Sheriff. And Amy, I think I'm going to direct this towards you is it Rick or Matt, are you doing the Windham County Sheriff? So what it is it's the contract.
Yep.
No, Rick has been working on that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
They gave us a
And-
notice some time ago. It's very expensive per hour because we don't contract for many hours in the during the year. They actually have two rates depending on how many hours
Okay.
the town provides. I will take a copy of that if you want to scan it and send it to me, or if you'd rather just drop it off. I keep copies of contracts here in the filing cases for the village.
Okay, so I gotta give this to Rick and Amy.
Do you
Yep.
know the rates?
Yeah, it has here, let's see. Well, first of all, the invoice total amount that I got was for $725. It was for the month of July.
Mhm.
And it only said here quantity hours 1, but I think it's for one contract, not 1 hour, because the subsequent
Right.
bill that they sent was itemized and it was 5 hours.
Yeah, and the bills, the actual hour reports always lag by a couple of months, a month or 2 months behind the bill. So we pay our bill for July, and in that same mailing, we get the report, and it says here May, which is
Yeah,
pretty
exactly.
typical. So that's
Okay.
how it will happen. And I don't think Rick still gets copies. We came to the point where we realized that we had done what we could, and we took him off the hook for that. You can check with him personally on that, but that's my recollection. Does anybody have a different memory of what we were doing? I mean, he was keeping very close tabs and talking to the sheriff routinely, and then we worked
Doesn't-
out a payment plan so that we caught up with the
Right.
hours, and we
Right,
agreed.
because we overpaid or we got overcharged and blah,
Yeah,
blah.
they were short-staffed and they didn't work as many hours as we had paid them for, and they
Mhm.
agreed to work more hours going forward.
Yeah, so this correct. This one was from May, the itemized statement, but then the payment due date is July 1st for the $725. So the contract I'm going to give to Amy,
Yes, please.
and
And if it's easier, just scan it and send it and I'll print it out here. You know,
It's a new contract.
that's the contract they gave us last fall.
and
oh well,
it's
no,
due-
this one's dated June 21st.
Well,
And
they
it
give
says-
us, they give us the rates well ahead of the contract.
Okay, it says, enclosed, please find the new contract for policing services for your town for the new fiscal year beginning July 1st.
And they actually called me beforehand to make sure that we had authorized payment. I went back to our annual report for the village and looked up what we had authorized and confirmed with them that they were on the right page.
So who's going to sign the contract? You, Amy?
Oh, I guess I sign it. Yeah. So I guess I do need it. I'll swing by and get it from you.
Oh, I can drop it off.
Well, I've got to make a trip tonight anyway. If that's okay with you, I'll just come up and get it.
Okey to Amy. All right.
Great.
Next, then we have this $1,000.
So hold on just a sec. Matt, did you have any more questions
I'm
about
sorry,
the
Matt.
contract?
No,
Okay, go ahead.
The next one is a credit for $1,000 from the town of Rockingham, Village of Saxons River, SR Rec Lease 2 Tour.
Town of Rockingham, TOR?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can go and look this up. I think this is the arrangement that is worked out.
Yeah. for the use of the rec area for summer camps.
Yeah,
Okay.
summer
Yep.
camps, games. Yeah, you're familiar with this, Matt?
Mhm.
Right.
Yep.
So who I give the check to Sarah, I assume.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Then any questions regarding that? If not, I've got 2 CODA bills that I need clarification on. Well, it's not really, the first one is the contract for the fire department.
For oil?
Yeah. And they give you 2 options.
No.
I put them both there. The $1,013 and then the $913.
We have, in the past, we have not entered into a contract with them.
Okay.
So we should
Because-
really warn this and discuss this as an option. When do they need to have the contract returned by? This is, I've let you fly free and not given you enough information. I'm so sorry, Ellen. This is a contract that we should discuss. As a-
Okay,
as a
put it on
board.
the agenda for the next meeting.
Yeah, I think that's what we need to do. But
Okay.
do we have time?
Yeah, I think so. I don't see contract not valid until payment and closed. It does not show a date. It says contract valid July 1st to May 31st.
Okay, so let's discuss that at another board meeting. So you can take both those options off. We know it's going to be an awful year, so I think it's worth spending some time on considering those. So
I'll
I
take
can
those
pick
off.
those up from you as well. So let's see, I'm picking up the sheriff's contract and the CODA and CODA contract. I wonder what else you've got up your sleeve.
Let's see. The next fun thing we have is from the fire department as well, from CODA and CODA. And it says for $486. Heck, crud, I deleted it.
Where is this?
She moves so swiftly to take things out that she deleted something she wanted to put in.
And this is for $486.23 for the fire department. Let me add it here.
What is it, fuel?
Well, it says here, it could be Matt. Oh yeah, it is. It says here.
It's fine. I believe you. Yep,
Well, no, I need interpretation. So,
yep.
you
You're
know,
gonna have
you
to
know
read
better
it.
than I
These
do.
are them. Yep, it's for the
Okay.
fire trucks.
Oh, that's nice.
It's important.
Right. It is important for fuel for fire department.
Yep.
Oops. For trucks.
Yeah, great.
And
Mhm.
436.23. Excuse me, 486. Okay.
Great.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Alrighty. The next one is the Village of Bellows Falls.
I know what this is. This is testing for the wastewater
Yep.
treatment plant. So we
Yep.
pay the village and they include our tests when they do theirs and peel out the billing for us. So you're absolutely right. It is the wastewater treatment plant. We get these notices very routinely.
Okay.
That's all I can tell you.
Well,
And
it
they're
answers-
exactly like that. BOD, TSS, E. coli, nitrogen 1, phosphorus. The first time I saw it, it kind of weirded me out. And I asked Rob Wheeler, who's a great resource for you, Ellen. You can always send him an email,
Okay.
should I know what this is? And he'll tell you. But that's what it is.
Yikes.
The other one you're going to see routinely is $1,800 for shipping waste to Montpelier.
Casella.
Oh, yep. That makes sense.
Stella, yeah.
Yeah, that's on there too. Okay. So then there was from UI Insurance.
Yep.
And this is past due for the fire department. It
Okay,
is I'm sorry.
Yeah, so you
So-
might want to put that in red so that Sarah really notices it.
Okay, yeah, it says, please remit no later than June 17th.
yeah,
And I don't know how long it's been sitting there. I got it today.
well, I think you better scan a copy of that and say it
Yeah,
was
get
due,
right on this. Yeah.
it's past due and needs to go out this week.
Yeah. Didn't Art send a note that he thought this was on a previous warrant?
Yeah, he did send an email, so he just he did ask that we pay attention to it because it is urgent.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. We do what we can, and Sarah's always been very good about calling or following up. She's making online payments, so.
Okay. Alrighty, then the next one, let's get over there. Okay, so we got that. Then we have Casella, which is for the $2,366.
Yep.
And that is for disposal
Mhm.
on June 1st and June 29th.
Mhm.
Great.
Okay. All right. And then we have one that was emailed to us from Dunbar for mowing. Yes.
Andrew Dunbar mowing. Yep.
Yep.
So that's.
And then-
Yep.
Okay. And then Margaret just needs reimbursement for the mulch
Yep.
that she purchased. Okay. Then we have the monuments that we talked about before, Matt, just before you joined us, that the work has already started.
Yeah, it's all
And
done.
that, yeah, it is all
Great.
done. Okay, great. Oh yeah, and there's the Casella, my apologies.
Mhm.
And then we have the Village of Bellows Falls monthly contract
Mhm.
fee.
So this is the salary for Rob Wheeler, which we pay to the village.
Okay, Rob Wheeler salary. Okay. And then the dumpster I added because of discussion earlier, Matt. This morning, this afternoon. the
Just
beginning of this meeting.
4th of July dumpster?
No, this is for the rec. They have decided to pick up the pieces of the bleachers that are falling apart. So it's a big dumpster to put all the metal in the rec to take it away. It was a formal request by Sam Fletcher to deal with that.
You can take metal to Bellows Falls Recycling for free.
Well,
You can?
I think she
Yeah.
had enough, so
You have
she
a metal
wanted someone-
dumpster down there. You drive in and throw your metal in it. No
I
charge.
think she wanted a big dumpster. She is feeling a little overwhelmed. If somebody wanted to volunteer to go and pick that stuff up and put it in a truck and take it to recycling, that would be great. But I think this was the easiest for her. This way she can focus on getting volunteers to fill the dumpster at the wreck and not have to worry about anything else.
Huh.
So we're paying for the service of the dumpster.
Mm.
You've got more connections in town than I do. What do you think, Matt?
Well, I mean, you could put the metal parts up on outside the gate and put free on it and they would leave. Scrap metal.
Do you,
It's
should
worth
I,
something.
do you want to reach out to Sam and make that?
No, I probably shouldn't. Well, it's coming out of their money. I mean, I'm not
It is.
looking to, change anything, but it can be done for free, other than some labor. But I did my 12 years there, so I'm probably I can't get involved with it, unfortunately.
Okay,
But those are the options. It can be trucked. If someone can truck it to Bellows Falls, it's thrown in a dumpster for free. So you could, if you want to send her an email.
I don't. The emails I've had from her, she is feeling extremely overbooked with what she does for the rec. So this is the solution she came up with. And it's, in a sense, their money. So I'm fine with it. But this is a board, so that's only two of us that have been heard from. Ellen, Carl, do you want to weigh in on this?
Oh, I'm not going to volunteer to throw metal in my truck and take it down to Bellows Falls. So if she's got volunteers to go over there over a period of a couple days.
When is this happening?
She's going to, I think she's having the dumpster delivered this week.
Okay. All right.
Ellen, anything to add?
No, I mean, I understand about that saving of,
Yeah.
bringing it into town. I'm just, perhaps she has other things that she's considering cleaning out from the rec area. I don't know. I'm just speculating. And I'm so sorry. I just don't have time to help that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's fine.
Good.
It's fine. Okay, so it looks to me like we have a warrant of $11,502.79. Is there a motion to approve the warrant?
I'll make a motion to approve the warrant, $11,502.79.
Is there a second for that motion?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the warrant in the amount of $11,502.79. Is there any further discussion? All in favor signify by showing a hand. Good, it's unanimous. Okay, thank you, Ellen. Do you have more questions for us? You can give me back my co-hosting and
Oh, okay,
you
sure.
can stop sharing. And do you have any more questions? How's the new thing working?
And yeah, it's fine. I mean, I'll get better at it.
Great.
I'll get more organized.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to come and grab things like the contracts, but you know how it is. First time
Yeah.
through, everything is new. And actually, I think it's great that you're looking at everything with new eyes. I think that's fine.
Oh,
So-
thank you.
Yeah.
And I was
Okay,
in Maine today and I was just like, I gotta get back and just take another look at this.
Okay. And you're not having a problem with getting the bills to Sarah's week to week?
Yeah, no, that I don't know anything about. So I have to figure out how to do it. I didn't know like how to get the bills to her. So I
I'll discuss with
apologize.
you when I come up. No problem. All right. So we are done with the warrant. Hold on. I've got to get back to my minutes. So we have other business items for the next meeting and date, and then executive session. So other business, has anybody come with other business for the board for our July meeting? Okay. I have one thing, and that is to say, how do you feel about a single meeting in September?
Sure.
Carl?
I don't care one way or the other.
Okay, let's try it. If September we feel overwhelmed by what's coming down the pike, then we'll do another one. But I'm finding this delightful, and I'm really enjoying not giving up a second Monday in the month.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So by consensus, then we're all agreed, one meeting in September, the first Monday. I suppose I should look and make sure it's not.
That'll be Labor Day, right?
Don't do it Labor Day.
Absolutely not.
After.
Okay, hold on.
Don't do it. They used to do that all the time. When I first got on the board, Memorial Day and Labor Day. And finally I said, look, this is a holiday.
Yeah.
It's enough.
How about, I would say do it on the 12th, which is the first Monday after Labor Day.
Okay. Is everybody okay with that?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so the next meeting date will be, the September meeting date will be September 12th. And I'll try and push that information out ahead of time, well ahead of time. But I agree with you, Matt. It's not good to have a meeting on Labor Day.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I mean, Monday holidays, we get it. Everybody
Right.
likes a Monday holiday.
Yeah.
So we just have to flex our situation for that.
And when's the, I apologize, everyone. When's the August one?
August 1st. I don't think
Gosh.
that's a holiday.
No.
Okay. Is that all right with everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay. Items for the next meeting, and the date is August 1st. Anything in particular people want to make sure we discuss at that August meeting?
Well, we're going to do the Declaration of Inclusion, right?
Yes, that's right. Where are we on sewer rates, Carl?
I'm still working on it, not very fast.
August 1st?
Yeah, I just got the update, some updated information from Sarah that I have to work into my database.
Okay. We could also do a special meeting for it, but I mean, it seems to me like
I'd rather
August
not.
is
Yeah,
the meeting everybody
rather not.
wants to be away, so.
yeah.
Okay. Are we ready for the executive session? All
Sure.
right. So remember, in order to go into executive session, we need two separate votes. The first is a determination that premature general public knowledge would place a person or entity, in our case, the village trustees, at a substantial disadvantage. So I think I would like to handle both of these with one motion. It looks like Matt is okay with that.
Mhm.
So the two matters are a discussion of the contract for fire payment with Athens. And the reason we would like to go into executive session for that is because we don't want to broadcast our rates. That's premature knowledge that will not benefit us. The second is discussing a property line issue. And again, it's possible that that would result in litigation. We will be talking about names. So I would like, because of premature knowledge, to keep that into executive session. So I'd like to make both of those as one motion. Carl, have I given you too much?
No, I'll have the recording to go back to if I'm missing something.
I'll second those motions.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to go into executive session for fire payment or for property line discussions because of premature knowledge. Now we need a vote to actually go into executive session to discuss those two issues, fire payment and the property lines. I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
We should have voted on the first motion. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Can I have a vote, please, on the first motion to go into executive session because of premature knowledge? All in favor? Good. Unanimous. And now I would like to vote on the already made motion and second to go into executive session to discuss fire payment and property lines. All in favor signify by showing of hands. Okay, it's unanimous. All right. And somebody was making a motion to leave the two executive sessions. Was that you, Matt?
Yes, I'll make a motion to leave the 2 executive sessions.
Is there a second to that motion?
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded that we close both executive sessions and proceed to action if there is any. All in favor of leaving executive session? Carl, are you? Yep, unanimous. Okay. Are there any motions on the floor? Let's take it one at a time. Are there any motions for the executive session to discuss the contract for fire payment with Athens? I thought there might be a motion that we continue to gather information about the fire
Yes,
contract
sorry.
and to bring this up again at the August 1st meeting.
Yes.
Would you like to make that motion, Ellen? I've made the motion. Go ahead. I've already made the motion. Right, Carl? You got that?
Second.
To gather more information and consider the fire contract payment at the August 1st meeting.
Correct.
Amy Howlett made the motion. Matt Brennan seconded it. Is there any further discussion of the motion? All in favor, show by hands. And it's unanimous. Are there any motions on the executive session to discuss property line issues? Hearing none, I think we might be ready to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor? Great, thank you.